Welcome to round 4 of the Atomic World Challenge at the Wait a Second Speedway by Smacks 666. So as you can see, today's field has got 10 racers in it. We had about 12 people qualified total for the race. It was one of the best turnouts we've ever had for this, and we're looking forward to a really good race today. Before everything starts, we're going to be doing a moment's silence for those victims, such as in the Manchester incident and Egypt, to allow for just a moment of silence. So. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, this is expected to be a really exciting race today. The qualifying rounds were very close together, so we're expecting a lot of tight racing today. We were talking to Juxtree and Sneaky earlier. It was very difficult for those guys to qualify. They actually had to re-qualify, so if you notice, they're not using their regular Spectre Customs for this race. They're using Elegy Retros, so that actually make par time for the course. And it was actually pretty amazing to see how a lot of these guys got together and put themselves back. As you can see, there's a lot of new guys here. And like Ricky Bobby in here that brought his new Serrano, Patient Zero, Visage Trips. All great guys that came in to try to get their spot in the racing division. So it looks like today is going to be amazing. The track is a version of what, if you've used to it, if you've seen it before, Laguna Seca is a very similar track to that. It's not exactly dead on. It's made a little bit more competitive for racers, so we're expecting things to be, again, like I said, really, really tight as people drive through the loops here. So again, these racers are going through a moment of silence for the events in Manchester and in Egypt, so we're paying their due respects here, so we'll give them their moment. So things are ready to go, and here's our first parade lap as we go around. And again, we'll be introducing ourselves to everybody in the group here. So again, the pole today has been won by Juxtree. You guys have seen Juxtree before. He came in, I believe, on race 2, and he's been competitive ever since. Sneaki Gyraffe actually took the pole position from Juxtree in the last race. And again, these guys didn't make par time, so they had to go back from their Spectre Customs to the cars they want. But another fan favorite here is Agent Ranger, who again got his Spectre Custom and was able to get right on par time for this race. So this is, like I said, they're expecting to get some pretty up close and personal racing up front. Then we have Dani Trump, who, having his 770, has been really fast with it and has been able to be competitive with it, but has not been able to make anything happen with this vehicle. So it's been kind of crazy to see how that's going to happen, if he's going to turn this around this time, or if it's going to be something different. So here's Vicious Trips, and the thing that I was really excited about in this race was the introduction of the Comet Retro Custom, which is a really exceptional car, and we're really wanting to see exactly how this is going to do in this race against some competition that people said was kind of stiff for it. So Patient Zero, and everybody knows the LG Retro. The LG RH8, which is possibly the fastest sport out there. We're going to see how Patient Zero takes this car and does something with it. Some of these tracks are a lot faster, and cars like the LG really don't get much of a chance to do anything with it. So here's Geezer. Here's another Comet Retro Custom that was brought to the track today. He was going to do 2 or 3 different cars to start, and that's how it went. So here is our race. We are starting now, and we're going to continue to go over characters so as they start their race. So if you guys know Chewy, he's back with his Comet Retro Custom. His Spectre Custom. Man, it's been a great day today. Chewy's another guy just like Trump that has not been able to really to put things into perspective at the beginning, so we're going to see how that works. And it looks like Jug Street may have already gotten in trouble at the beginning of the race here, so far this is where we got Jug Street again making that early lap to favorite, and that's just the parade lap, so don't expect it to be fast. But we do like following Jug Street because he's got really good times and he's really competitive here. So and there he is, taking a space away from Agent Ranger. The Spectre Custom was one of the best qualifying cars on this track. It ran really well and it had some great racers in it. The problem with the car was it ended up being too fast for some racers. So, and now there he is taking second place, and there's the 2 LG Retro Customs up front. So let's follow Agent. Daddy Trump is already having problems. Yeah, so he's having some issues already. But I think he's going to be able to convert this over and do something with it if he could just stay with the pace of it. He's coming right up on Visage. So that's a battle for 4th right there. And this is coming up on the tough part here as we go into the chicane. Oh. No. See, that's the thing is unfortunately with some of the views here, some people can be a little lagging with their connection speed, so we get a little bit delayed on seeing how they're coming out. It looks like Visage is kind of walking away from him, but he's kind of settled in his position. So let's go look up on Agent Ranger, see how the battle for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd is going. Looks like Sneaky is taking the lead. And that's the other thing is that Sneaky has been a fast competitor and has put himself up. Agent Ranger originally was the points leader, and with the last race, Agent was not able to attend, and that kind of hurt him for points, which was allowed Sneaky to come up and take that point standings for the season up ahead of him. So let's see how the laps have gone so far. So Sneaky's got that 128. That's really been his par time for this course. Juxtry's been a little bit slower. It looks like Agent's running a little bit slower than he was before. We got a couple of moves like Patient Zero's move up above Ricky. But like I said, we really think that Agent can do a lot better with his time if he can get his car to translate into maximum speed. He can do something with it. Well, let's go up and see the battle for first and second. Juxtry is definitely putting some pressure on Sneaky. And pretty much for good reason. It's just... these cars are so competitively matched, but I really think that the drivers behind them have really played a key role in the competitiveness of what's going on here. Oh, big bump from Sneaky to take the lead, but Juxtry is banging back. So as we come into this turn, this is just getting heated up front, and it looks like they're leaving Agent behind. So while these guys battle, this is a tough turn up here to take. Well, let's see how Juxtry does it. Sneaky is really kind of running the faster laps. Look at that. Going to try to take that inside line. So we see some movers in the back here. So we're going to take a look at these guys real quick. Geezer is definitely battling it out with Trump. It looks like he's already taken the position. And a spin out from Visage. So Geezer takes that position away. And Daddy Trump's car is out once again. So the real question today is Agent Ranger going to be able to convert his position back up to first and second to get his times up? Yeah, it's quite a competitive run we have going up here in the front. So it looks like Geezer is making time here, and he's doing a good run with this car. It's good to see that the Comet Retro Custom can be competitive, and we hope to see more people use it. So you can see the distance that he's got to make up for his time. So let's look at those lap times again. Juxtry's with the 126. But those times are really competitive up front. 128, 128, 129. Patient Zero's doing a 129 as Elegy. Let's go back over to Juxtry and Sneaky again, see how they're doing up front. These guys are just battling it out up here. Oh, hard hit. That's one great thing about this kind of racing that we have here, is that we don't have to worry about yellows. Cars don't crash as much. It's just a cool way of running it so that you can continue to have a, you know what I mean, a great race. We have had a complaint on the earlier laps as well that some of the checkpoints did not hit. Thankfully, we haven't had that problem in the race. I think people got used to it. Looks like Vault Dweller's already getting lapped. And that's the thing is these new guys are coming in. They're still building up their cars, so. Looks like Juxtry is really moving along, so he's still got the 126. Geezer putting in a 127, so he has a big opportunity to take on these guys up front here. You'd think by now he'd start seeing these lead guys. He's right there on that lead, so he can take that position and really roll it up through the front there. And definitely he's got better times than Agent and Sneaky right now. We're gonna stick with him for a second here. See what he's got for times. Juxtry still with the 126. Patience here at the 127. Geezer with his 127. So there's a change right up there, so. Yeah, Geezer is definitely making moves here. He's now pacing down Agent. And the thing is when, yeah, look, Juxtry moving back. Something must be wrong with his car because he's taking a big hit in the back. But there he comes right back. Never to be underestimated. And that's the other thing is as Geezer having big problems there. Not what he needed to have. But he's still in this, so he's just got some time to make up. Geezer's having trouble. Let's go over to Juxtry real quick and see what he's got. With that nice time, he should be pacing down Sneaky pretty good. The thing is once they get together, their competitive driving pushes them into different areas. So it slows everybody down a lot. And that allows people in other places to catch up. So you may see somebody with a faster lap and say, well, why can't they grab distance on somebody? Well, they're having somebody that they have to basically drive through. So that person's going to slow down their time a lot. And as they get together, they're going to have they have less track to race with, which allows people in the back to really catch up and do their thing. The other thing, it looks like Juxtry might have some damage on the front of his car, and he bumped him. Wow. And that's the other thing is those crashes happen. People get together. It just causes more trouble for them to it slows them both down. So not something to recommend for anybody. Bumping and rubbing and racing, really, I know it may seem like a great idea, but there's just too many risks involved in it to end up having somebody else take that position from you because you're back and forth and slowing each other down. So those are the breaks for people who are interested driving messy. The other thing is that those guys have already got damage on their car, and that's another reason that these other guys can catch up with them and go farther. Because resetting at this race will definitely put you at the back of the pack. Okay, let's take a look back through the pack right now. So this is our new guy, Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby came in. He was very excited to start things. He was having some difficulties early, but he still brought his Serrano in and was doing some good things with it early. So we were really excited to see what he's going to do with this. Right now he's paced in 8th. Taking the spot from Vault. So like I said, we're very excited about seeing these new cars that are coming in, and I hope we see more of that differentiation versus before, kind of with the Spectre custom thing that was going on. It kind of gets boring when you get one car over and over again. So those guys were really, really good to have them. So let's go back to Geezer and see where he's at as his move up through the field. Once again, Jucktree and Sneaky are really handing back and forth, but Geezer's got that 127. He's got a solid 127s at the back of the pack there. And that's one of the complaints that we had early in the race, is the squirreliness of the Comet Retro Custom. Looks like those guys are either running into some lap traffic up front. We're going to see how much of that becomes a factor down the road as we see more and more cars that are getting involved, and we're going to start seeing more of this lapping. So that's something that people are going to have to deal with. You can see Sneaky had some trouble there passing. And having passing problems is going to put you farther and farther back in the pack. Ricky's still fighting. He's not giving up his position. But Juxtry's also up there pacing. He's not getting too far ahead of him, so that's something that could work in Sneaky's favor. So let's see where Agent is in this equation. Agent really has to move something up to get something going here. He's got the pack up front. He's definitely getting some good laps with his car. But we're just not making the numbers that he needs to get this position. So it looks like Vault Dweller had some terminal problems with his car there. We're going to go back again to see where Geezer's at. Wow, well, we're hearing reported from, that's the end of the race right there, so we're hearing that Geezer was having some real trouble at the end of the race there, so that was not played in his favor. I do have good feelings about him bringing something later on. So as we can see, Juxtry has won the race today. Congratulations, Juxtry. Thanks Sneaki Gyraffe for second place and for helping out with running the series. Agent Ranger for third, Visage in fourth, Geezer in fifth. I want to thank everybody for watching, enjoying this, and we look forward to seeing you next week. You guys have a great time, and thanks for the Most Wanted for officiating the event. This is VIPPrimo signing off for this weekend's event. We'll see you next weekend for the race. Have a great day. Bye.